Welcome back to yet another episode of the Talkative Sports podcast. The season is well and truly on the way. We had match week 3 in the Premier League, match weeks 4, I think, in La Liga, and elsewhere, Serie A. I think they're on the second week, but we're gonna start with EPL today, and we're gonna start with none other than the biggest game of the weekend. We saw a certain United get slapped once again by their biggest rivals, Liverpool, and it's pretty sad. Honestly, like Zach, how do you feel about United? They keep losing in these derbies. They keep not just losing, getting absolutely dismantled, like disrespectfully in these derbies.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say it's sad. For me, anyways. It's sad for Manchester United fans, absolutely. But for me, I mean, it's not really sad. And I mean, I wouldn't say they keep losing at derbies. I mean, okay. Eric Ten Hag wouldn't say they keep losing at derbies if you ask him. The reporter already tried to challenge him on that, and he said they're the second most winning club to Man City. Okay, ETH. And like I said, I've been supporting him by default because, like he said, they are the second most winning club to Man City. Not my words, Eric Ten Hag's words. So, with that being said, Shags, yeah, I don't see this season going any differently from last season. But they'll win some trophies. Maybe FA Cup and League One, whatever, Carabao. And Ineos is not going to fire him. So
it's crazy what a FA Cup can do for your career. Like I seen the same thing with Arteta. Won that one FA Cup, been coasting off of it since. It's the same with Ten Hag. Won a League Cup, won a FA Cup, and now he thinks he's untouchable. And I don't see them winning anything this year. That's the funny part, because even last season they were not supposed to win. It was first of all, what was the team? League 2 team? Was it Coventry that nearly knocked them out, and it was called offside because the striker was a foot ahead. That's why they make it the final. And Man City showed up to the game hungover. That's why he's still unemployed. So it's like Ten Hag. Like the question I like the most from the reporter is like, do you think it's the players or do you think it's your tactics? And he tried to say, oh no, we've won the most. No, it's both. It's both. The players that you keep playing and you bought, they're not performing, and your tactics. Because we have so many like top coaches, and they'll explain exactly how they want to play football. I've never seen Ten Hag come out in any type of video about how he plays or what his philosophy is or what he even wants to do. But
control the pace of the game.
Yeah, do they do that?
I mean, we know how they want to play because of how they've played. So he doesn't really need to say or how we want to play.
I don't know. It looks like organized.
They just want to manage. It is organized. That's exactly what it is, actually. They just want to manage the game. And in a sense, it should work. Because if you just play the odds, you have better players. You have better facilities. You have better
facilities.
All of that. And you should. I'm just saying you should. You're Manchester United. You should. Then most teams in the Premier League, at least, maybe not the best, but you have at least top 4 quality everything. You should. And then, so you're just playing the odds like we don't have to go out there and try to win every game. If we just go out and try to not lose, we'll win more games than we lose, which that's exactly what they've done. So it is control chaos.
It's starting to trend in the opposite. They lost Shield on pens, which was okay. They played well. They beat Fulham, and now they've lost back-to-back games right in Man United. I mean Liverpool. I don't think his job is in danger at this moment.
Me neither. I don't at all.
I don't like they're 14th. But he's still gonna get time under this owners. They're still gonna give him time. I just think he shouldn't even be there. And I don't know why he's still there.
I mean, I wouldn't hire him for my team, but hey, if it's Man U's cup of tea, it's Man U's cup of tea.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know, Man U.
To be honest, and this might be a controversial take because there's no way to prove this. I don't even know if Sir Alex Ferguson could have lasted Chelsea. So, yeah. We're brutal, bro. It's a hot take, I know. But I'm just saying.
How the hell do we even begin to even...
There's no way to disprove or prove that, but it's my take.
No manager. Well, I think it's safe to say no manager is safe at Chelsea.
None, because they all get fired.
Yeah, or at least they give
Coach was the one that was like, I'm out. Yeah, he was the only manager that said, I'm done, I'm out. Can you think of one manager that said, I'm out? We offered him a contract and he said no.
Yeah, I don't know. Kudos to him. He did one thing right. He knew that he was not good enough.
Yo, he more than impressed me, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like turning the contract down, like shot him up. Like, yo, what? Okay. I was like, yo. Honestly, I've never heard of a manager that, okay, he coached our team and then we renew his contract or offer him a new deal and he said no.
Yeah.
So
very happy that he's gone, but
well, still, I'm happy for where he landed.
Yeah, he managed to upgrade somehow.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy for where he landed.
Good for him, for the USA. So up north, we had another game, Newcastle Spurs. Another coach that is under pressure to win something this year with Postecoglou. And even on the opposite side with Eddie Howe having a lot to prove this season. And as it has been
I'm
trend.
one of his critics. I'm a harsh critic of Eddie Howe. But go on.
Yep. As it's been trending, it's Newcastle once again come out on top against Spurs.
As they should.
Yeah, I think this is a really good win for Newcastle, of course, but Spurs just being Spursy. I don't even know what I could say about them. They have a win, a draw, and a loss.
So do we.
Chelsea.
So, but yeah, that's how this season has started. So,
yeah, I mean, do you think either of those teams could win something this year? Newcastle or United?
No.
Yeah, I said Newcastle or United. Newcastle or Spurs? Well, Spurs. Yeah, nah.
No.
Newcastle.
Bro, there's only one reason I'm saying no. So that's nothing to do with their players. So no. But good for Eddie Howe. Nice win.
Yeah, but he needs to. I think there should be more focus on getting to Europe again.
Do we think that he's going to do anything in Europe? Okay.
Well, I don't even think. I mean, Conference League is up there. I think
If they
they'll get
go out of the group stage, would you be surprised?
no,
If they go out of the playoffs, would you be surprised?
no, no. But for
I'd
them,
be surprised if they make the final.
the
Okay.
prize for them is just getting in the first place.
Hmm?
The prize for them is
What's getting in there? Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
But guess what,
all these
though?
teams, the only
What
way
if
they
I
can
told you?
win,
What if I told you their prize should be getting to the final at least with the players they have?
they're not getting close to the final.
Oh, exactly. Why? Why are we saying that they won't?
I don't think their players are even good enough. No.
Why do we think so?
They're not that good of a team to reach a European final.
Why do we think they're not?
Oh, you say it's the manager. I say it's just
Ding, 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 ding. It's a simple answer because you said their players are not good enough. Why are their players not good enough? With the modern day span, and we know how good these players are. You said, oh, they're not a good team. Why are they not a good team? Who's in charge of the team? Who makes sure that they're a good team? Who makes sure that the players get better? I'm sorry, bro. Like you have Luis Ball, you have Livramento, you have Trippier. Those are solid players. Shit, I wish I had one of those guys. I'd be good with one of those guys right now. You have Isak. Isak has 5 goals against Tottenham in his last 5 games or something like that. So he's a formidable goal scorer. You have Callum Wilson is his backup. Anthony Gordon, Almiron. What's the guy from Leicester's? That was at Leicester. Is Anthony Gordon's backup? What are we complaining here? What? Joe Willock, Guimaraes. I'll even throw in Longstaff because of his goal against PSG last year. He can play. And then you have Sandro Tonali. Bro, I don't want to hear about Newcastle, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Dubravka and Nick Pope. You have 2 keepers that could play on any Premier League team as a starter. I don't know what else you want them to get, bro. What you tell me. What do you want them to get? That's gonna make their team so much better.
I don't know.
Because it's not a good team. They don't have a good team to go. So tell me.
No, I said they don't have a good enough team to make a European final.
And they go on and they trade away their one of the best dribblers the Premier League has ever seen. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, though. Like,
but I'm still telling you that deal will come back to bite them. You said no. Oh my God! Why don't they have a good enough team now? Please explain that to me. Who made that deal? Who ran him out of town?
Yeah, I still don't even believe he would have made a difference on this team, honestly.
But we don't have a chance to see.
They would have still been.
But like you said, they're just not a good enough team. So I'm asking you, who do you want him to get? Lamine Yamal? Mbappe? Vinny and Rodri? And then you say they're good enough team?
No, they just
can't even compete in a European league.
Yeah, once they start playing in Europe regularly, then they can start thinking about making a final. I think.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they were in the Champions League
one time.
They were in the Champions League last season. So what do you mean making Europe? They were in the Champions League last season. Am I wrong?
I think to make Europe, you got to keep making Europe.
But
that's what really makes you like a top team.
Is it too much to ask them to at least push for the final? Because I'm just saying if there's a team, because this is not the Champions League now, this is Europa League. If there's a team in Europa League that is like, oh my God, so much better, that they're like, if there's teams that are like, oh my God, they have no chance against, please present them. Because if this was Champions League, you have a point. But Europa League, bro, there should be an argument that can be made with the players that they have in Newcastle that they can make a push for the final. Like, we should be talking about them at least in the final four. Tell me I'm wrong.
But they're not even in the Europe this year. That's the thing. They have to keep making Europe consecutively, and then make Europe 3 times in a row.
Europa League, right?
3 times in a row.
Europa League. All right.
Let me see. They're not in Europe because last year they finished. They finished last
year. 8th. Okay, they finished 8th.
Yeah, they're not in Europe.
Okay, they finished 7th. Then no, they finished 7th.
So they're not in Europe.
They're not in Europe.
Yeah. So yeah, because Chelsea finished 6th and we got Conference League.
So there's no English team in Europa League? That don't make sense.
Yes, there is. The teams that finished above Chelsea, Man United and Spurs.
Wait, we finished. So 4th and 5th are in Europa League. No, so top 4 is not in Champions League.
It's Spurs.
Because if we finish 6th, then only one team can be in Europa League. Because I thought top 4 is
top 4 is Champions League.
So there can only be one team in Europa League then.
Oh, it's Spurs and Man United.
So it's
Man United won the FA Cup. That's how they got
it. It Man United and Spurs because Man United won the FA Cup. Makes sense. Okay, got you.
So that if they didn't, that extra spot in the Conference League would have went to, or we would have made it to Europa League, and then
they would have been in Europe. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad for them.
Oh yeah, they're a little unlucky.
They don't got to worry about Europe. They don't got to worry about Europe this season.
But all they need to do this season is just make it back to Europe.
They're not making it back to Europe. They're not making it back there. Because what happened this season, I suspect a similar thing's going to happen. What happened last season? I suspect a similar thing's going to happen this season. And do we think they're going to be better than they were last season?
Mm-hmm.
And why do we think they won't?
Only time will tell. Like, if they're at least healthy, then they're already automatically better than the last season. I think injuries was their main concern. They couldn't get people fit. They had people getting almost a year ban because they want to gamble.
Retarded Sandra Tonali.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, Newcastle trying to be better. Spurs being Spurs. We want to switch it now to the other side of North London. Arsenal fans have been crying out for the last couple of days, talking about how they were robbed. After the fact, after we've seen the explanation, do you believe they were robbed?
No. Why would what? Because of one card? Because of one. First of all, let me educate our viewers on something. I have seen my team Chelsea in a mediocre season beat Aston Villa. I still remember this because it was a game that Frank Lampard broke the goals for a record. We were a man down. And we won 3-2. And we weren't the team that Arsenal is. That was a mediocre year for us. That was an intermediate year. I think it was the interim manager from last year that we won the Champions League and we kept him. I think it was that season. Di Matteo. So I don't want to hear it, frankly. I just don't want to hear it because Brighton proceeded to dominate the rest of that game easily. I'm sorry, and they were dominating Brighton for the most part in that game. But Brighton equalized before the red card, if I'm not mistaken. After the red card. Okay, after the red card.
Right after.
Right after. Okay. Okay, so they equalized. Then what?
That was that.
Yeah.
Was
So
it?
that's not no. No, I can't because we've seen elite teams. You want to call yourself an elite team. You want to say, oh, what's the man from DR Sports? Oh, I think Arsenal's going to win something this year. Oh, I think it's top 2 or top 3 or at least for us, bro. If you want to call yourself okay, fine, believe that, sir. If you want to call yourself an elite team, these are games you show it.
You you gotta beat Brighton.
Yeah,
Or at least defend because you know
but
the red
honestly,
card might have been harsh, but it was a red card. He
it
did.
was, yeah.
I thought he didn't kick the ball away, but he did kick the ball away, and he kicked it out, not just on the field. He kicked it off the pitch, and they've been warned, don't do that because even in the Chelsea game, Nicholas Jackson,
Cole Palmer did it too.
yeah, Nicholas Jackson played on like
Right.
after the referee whistle scored, he
Mhm.
got a yellow card. Do not once the referee blows a whistle, it's not your
Yep.
ball. Don't touch it. And he was on a yellow. He got sent off. Now you can say, oh, it's harsh. Is this? Is that? Yeah, but it's still a red card at the end of the day. And even after you get a red card as Arsenal, like that doesn't mean all of a sudden you forget how to defend.
Now I'll tell you what was harsh, but when we get to the Chelsea segment. But for now, and I wanted to say this though. Arsenal made me lose my train of thought of what I really wanted to say. Because it's always fun to clown on them. But what I really wanted to say is Brighton.
Yeah.
Because I like to give credit to where credit is due. I don't want to cloud the Brighton conversation with, oh, Arsenal crying Arsenal fans. Hey, Brighton did something right. They were doing something right. They scored and they kept you from scoring. So, and you want to call yourself an elite team? Well, Brighton just disproved that.
Yeah.
So,
Brighton also did spend over 200 mil this summer, which is kind of I know De Zerbi watching them like, damn, now they want to spend all the money. But
yeah.
even with the money they spent, I'm looking at their squad and it's still pretty much the same players. I don't. There's a
Because
whole
we
lot of
don't
who.
recognize most of them.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of who's. I'm not even sure who they signed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because we don't recognize most of them.
yeah,
And they sent some players out on loan as well.
yeah, they already beat Man U this season, and now they drew at Arsenal. Was it at Arsenal?
And their coach is only 3 years older than you, Shags.
Yep, they have the youngest coach in the history of the Premier League, and they're doing the thing. Which is, it's fun to watch. Really fun to watch. But hey, Brighton, they might do something this season. I'm looking forward to watching more of them. Hopefully not against my team, but
Now we got them.
we'll see what they.
We'll just score more goals than they do. They play expansive football. They'll open up for us. They'll open up for us. Don't worry. We'll enter easily. It'll be very consensual.
Another team that Brighton also beat was Everton. At Everton's
That's not a flex.
which leads us to our next.
That's not a flex.
team.
Are you kidding me?
Everton. Everton Football Club are up in the 87th minute, 2-0. This was the latest. They are the only team. How is it? This was the latest loss from 2-0 up in Premier League history. 87 minute, you're up 2-0. By the end of the game, down 3-2. Is it time for Everton to spend some time in the championship?
We've been saying that for last season, but I don't know. I can't say that yet. Is it time? Because here's what Everton does. They really amazes me how they're able to do this. They're able to like same players. Although I like their players this season. I like the kid they got to replace Onana. They basically what they did is they use Onana as a bargaining chip to get their new guy to replace him, who's a kid from Aston Villa. But the only thing is that they made a profit off of the deal, and the kid doesn't look bad. And then I like they got a new player. They got a new winger who doesn't look too shabby. You know, he's and then they moved Dwight McNeil like center forward, which I think that's a better position for him for how they want to play. But yet again, their old slow defense rears its ugly head. Do they still have Brantwaite? I don't think they do, right?
I don't see him here, so
Yeah, probably sold him somewhere, but
they still have him. He just hasn't been playing.
Hasn't been playing. All right, but
yeah,
he didn't play in the last game. Makes sense because, like I said, old slow defense. They literally all have to play defense or they give up goals like easy. You saw what we did to them last season, so it's pretty much the same team. They didn't really only Calvert-Lewin is healthy, so Calvert-Lewin was cooking. He had a goal and an assist. So,
and they also signed one of the best young strikers on the planet on loan in Armando Broja. So
oh yeah, they did. They did. Did they not? They did. They definitely did.
Well, hopefully he can get some goals for them because they are dead last. 3 losses in 3 games with a -8 goal difference.
They've conceded at least 2 goals in each of those games. Pretty sure.
It's been a really rough start for them.
Rough start.
Yeah, lost to Brighton 3-0, lose to Spurs 4-0. Throw a 2-0 lead to lose 3-2 at home. Yeah, it's gonna be another tough season for them. Although it might not be that tough because Southampton above them also have lost all 3. And then you have Wolves, Ipswich, Crystal Palace, and Leicester.
Hey, they tied us. And we're right above them.
We gave Crystal Palace their first point of the season.
They tied us, bro. So can't, I ain't going to bash on Crystal Palace because they actually played pretty good football. I think Kamada is going to be a player for them.
He might as well just jump right into it. Chelsea won Palace. I could take it away.
I'm not going to say too much about this game because I'm pretty sure you already know my sentiments. I don't want to feel like a broken record. I'm just going to say we need Lavia back.
Yep, definitely do.
I think we wasted. We could have gotten a result like even these last 2 weeks showed me that it proves to me that we could have even more that we could have gotten a result out of that Man City game if he had picked the right team. We could have gotten some kind of result. And this game just showed me man, at this point I can't even blame Maresca because these are the players that he was given from management. But at the end of the day, he still accepted this. So as much as I can say I can't blame him, blame's got to go somewhere, man. And I would love, you know me, I would love to sit here and blame Caicedo all day. But dude didn't buy himself. He didn't pay himself. He didn't start himself. He didn't loan out Ugo Chukwu. So yeah. It's same shit, different day. and excuse my language, but that's the truth. And Crystal Palace didn't really play that well, but they created more. They had more convincing chances than we did in the game, which was weird.
Yeah, it's always like teams always manage. They don't create a whole bunch of chances, but they always have like 2 or 3 high quality chances against us. And I hate to try to throw Caicedo on the bus, but a lot of them have to do with Caicedo. If you watch,
Yep.
pay attention to his positioning.
You can even go back to the goals from Wolves game.
Yeah, it's like it's
like
like there's a gaping hole in that CDM where they're supposed to be covering the defense, and they're just not there when they're needed. And it's like Enzo Caicedo doesn't work defense wise. We always get ran through, and there's always a chance, and it usually is a goal because these teams they always seem to attack with intent. They know exactly what they're gonna do, how they're gonna get at Chelsea. And of course, we always have like chances, but they're not always high quality chances. They're just like half chances, or expect somebody to do the most just to score. And yeah, just another game of not really creating the best chances, but even the chances we do create, not putting them away.
Only from counterattack.
Yeah, it's
how many chances do we create from like open play?
Yeah, it seems like we just hit on the counter, and
our best players for open play. Like, listen, as much as I love Madueke, man, Nkunku needs to start. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Madueke, I don't know if he's ready for like that every back to every game. Nkunku, that's the kind of game we need Nkunku, man. Like, he can just make something happen. Like, you remember that Club America game where he just made a goal happen out of nothing? Just drew a penalty. Like, that's what we need. Like, as much as I love Madueke, like, you can contain him. You saw Celtic contain him easily. We saw it live.
The funny thing is, Madueke had a pretty decent game. At least I thought. I think what really got me was like Maresca did not do his subs weren't great this.
But what did he have on the bench though?
He brought on Mudryk before he brought on Nkunku. He took off Pedro for Felix. I don't know what he was trying to do there, but
Pedro
wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
I have a take on Pedro now. He should be on the right wing, bro. He should be playing where Madueke is playing, but that's just not possible. That's his best position, because if you see how he plays on the left, his game is totally different.
Yeah, which is the question. It's like what is Nkunku? What is he doing better than Nkunku for him to play out of position? Even though I don't really even support that, but I'm more surprised Jackson has nailed down that starting role. But
that's his role.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I am happy and just elated that it's looking like it's his role for the foreseeable future, because that's who we want it to be. It's that simple. That's who we want it to be, and he's doing his job, so it should be his role. But I just think that center attacking position should be in Nkunku's. It should at least be his role for this year, because he hasn't even gotten that opportunity to prove that. So let's give him that opportunity, And when Jadon Sancho is ready, put that guy on the left wing. Oh man, I can't wait.
It seems like Nkunku has only started against like Servette this season, which is kind of
yeah.
But hey,
he's only been in Conference League.
Hopefully, by the time we're done, then
I say switch it up. As much as we like Madueke, I say switch it up, because We know Cole Palmer is better on the right than anybody we have in any game anywhere. But in that middle, where have we seen the most production out of Nkunku? At 10.
Yeah, we gotta let the wingers play wing. I always think playing Nkunku behind Jackson. That's it.
And then Noni, we love you, but you can play against Servette or whatever. You can be productive there. You will be productive there because, dude, you'll kill those teams. It's just the Premier League. You have that potential. It's just I don't know if he's ready for it game in game out yet, like that. Like if he's gonna be that productive game in game out as someone like Nkunku, who we've seen him do it. Mind you, sure it was the German league, but we've seen him do it. We've seen him score 16 goals. Man, we could use those goals, bro. Do we think Noni Madueke is going to score 16 goals?
No, probably not. I guess that's the reason why we have so many options. It's like
exactly. So that's why I'm saying you
rise. It has
deploy them. Deploy the weapons. Is all I'm saying. Use them. On the left side, I'm fine with Pedro playing on the left side for now because his game is different on the left side, but his game is still productive in Enzo Maresca's system. You know? So I'm fine with that, with keeping Pedro on the left side, even though he was the first sub off. So clearly Maresca saw what I saw. Like, bro, Pedro Neto is different.
Effective. But I'm like, don't take Neto off first and to bring on Modric.
I mean, I was fine with that. Modric had that one chance. Like he had some spark. I was fine with that. I'll take that because he actually had that chance, and he gave Jackson the chance to put us ahead. If you remember, okay. Modric was the one who he has that connection with Nico Jackson. That whatever it's called, telepathic. That was some like weird telepathic shit. I don't know if you saw it. Like Modric knew exactly when to, bro. That's why I'm fine with that because he already has that connection with Nico, so I'm cool with that. You know, it just didn't work out. I mean, if Jackson scores, then what do we say?
That's the thing. I'm not because it doesn't. It never works. That's the thing.
I mean, it could have worked. It created a chance. It created an opportunity. You know, so that's why I'm not going to bash him for it because I saw what he was trying to do, and I saw okay, if Jackson puts it away, that's a good sub, you know. Wow. But we got to stop benching Nkunku. Like, bro, it's gonna get in his head. I know that for a fact. It's gonna get in his head. So we got to stop benching him. Definitely. I might make a trend on Twitter.
Definitely.
Hashtag stop benching Nkunku.
We need to play more, and we need because we need to start finishing these chances.
I'm telling you, bro,
higher quality chances, and
we need to be.
And once we have like Lavia back starting again, hopefully Reece James after the international break, he'll be healthier. Hopefully Gusto is not out for more than the national break because he did pull up with a minor hamstring injury, and so yeah. Hopefully, you can just keep building because I think Maresca he's not really under any type of pressure right now. He's still experimenting, seeing what works, and
yeah. One last question: what the hell is Dewsbury Hall doing on our team?
Man, I don't know, bro.
I'm not even saying he sucks.
I don't know where he plays in this team. Honestly.
I have no idea.
Because like if we didn't have Felix, okay, maybe you can play him in the middle. If we didn't have Nkunku, but I don't know. I don't know. He's Maresca's boy from Leicester, and I guess they just gave him his guy again. Like here, this is your signing bonus. You get one player from your old team. Yeah. Hey, our bench is stacked. That's what he's there to stack the bench. Even though Hassan made a rare appearance on the bench.
Is the bench stacked?
Yeah.
Let's really think about this for a second. So when Neto went off, Mudryk came on. Then How Felix came on. Okay, cool. How Felix, great. And then Kunku came on. Great. And then Viega, Disasi. If
Well, think about
Lavia was on the bench, or let's say Lavia was starting, then Caicedo would be coming off onto the field from the bench, cold, not even warmed up. Really think about that. How good is our bench good there?
It would be Sancho, it would be Modric, it would be if fit James, and who else is injured? I already said Lavia. KDH would just add to it. Our bench is, I wouldn't say our bench is stacked for this
Thank
game.
you. like let's be really honest with ourselves. All right, if Sterling was on the bench, if Chaloba was on the bench, if I'm trying to think, let's say we still had CG, so Madueke was on the bench or some shit like that. Okay, maybe you might say, all right, our bench is kind of stacked up, but no, Chaloba is on loan. Sterling's on loan. CG's gone. Bye bye. He started for Atletico in the weekend, by the way. So our bench is stacked. Jadon Sancho is a good one, but I don't consider him a bench player, though. Like I told you, Sancho boy will be left wing before the season is over. Solidified. We don't have a left winger. We don't. It's supposed to be Mudryk, but we clearly think he's still in the developmental stage. The boy needs to grow up. So guess who's growing up though? Jadon. So he just has to claim it.
Yeah, like we definitely are lacking in defense.
I don't even want to talk about the defense. Please, let's come on, man. Like oh man, like we could go on all day about Badiashile. I don't even have to talk about him. We could talk about Fofana and how he's been shaky, but we know how good he is because he was a Leicester City player. That was the best team he played on. The most thing he ever won was 7th place when we got him.
Oh, that's another thing we need to talk about before we wrap up. Like our transfer window closed on Saturday.
I'm glad we did not fall into the Ozyman bullshit. I'm glad we said no. Finally. We finally said no, man. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good to know that we didn't waste all that money on Osimhen. You know, we gave Jackson that extension, and our striker search continue. I mean, I don't even want to call it a striker search.
How is it continue? I don't even understand how it's a striker search that continues.
We will still be good with a top striker, but it's not Osimhen. It just can't be anybody. I'm very happy with what we have, and I'd rather not sign anybody.
Thank you, because they keep saying we'll be good with a top striker. Okay, you want Lautaro Martinez? Sure, go ahead. It's 120 million. Okay, who do you want? Oh, you want Girassi? Oh no, sorry, Dortmund beat you to that. You had a chance. Okay, you want Openda? Oh, sorry, Leipzig gave him a new contract. Who do you want? Lewandowski? Kane? Top striker. Who do you want? Please. Like, Sesko? You want Sesko? The person that couldn't even put in one flimsy goal to beat Portugal? Who do you want?
None of those people. But
Thank you.
I think the best thing for us right now is just continue to get in the sales out. Hopefully, Badashil is next. All these
I don't
loans.
think we're selling. No, he's not.
Sterling went out on loan. We had who else?
They're
Chilwell is still there somewhere in the club.
Yeah, Chilwell's still
Hasn't
there.
been able to find another club for himself.
Angelo apparently, some team is putting in a 35, 40 million bid for him with a buyout clause included. I think that was a story that I read. Some team from Saudi Arabia, because their transfer window is winding down, so we still have a chance to get some players out at least before that window closes. And I don't know, maybe somebody in MLS might come for David Washington.
Well, I want to switch it up and be happy that we didn't get Osimhen. Osimhen is looking at ending up in Galatasaray, of all places. Like,
that's great for him.
Such a greedy dude, man. All he had to do was just say yes to Salah, because Chelsea were not paying him that amount of money. Like, we weren't gonna budge. Just go. And
they gave him the you know what the beautiful part about the Saudi deal was? They gave him a release clause, a 1-year release clause.
Yep. All you had to do was say yes, but no.
It was a 1-year deal with a release clause, so he could still leave in January. He could have literally what he had now in Turkey, but in Saudi Arabia with like almost like 10 times the money. I heard it makes no sense, bro.
Yeah,
0 sense. And if you want to talk about, I'm staying the Saudi Arabian culture, go to Dubai.
Yeah. It's a real head scratcher. How?
Yeah, bro. It makes 0 sense to me. Yeah. Holy.
Hey. Well, Napoli made a signing. Lukaku.
They put their foot down and it paid off because Lukaku scored and they're back off to that's 2 in a row since Conte lost 2 games ago. So that's back-to-back games they've won now. So
I really like the Serie A because they have a lot of good teams in that league. Like AC Milan, as good as they are 14th in their league right now.
They're not very good. They just tied again because their coach is rebelling with all their star players. They benched Leao and Theo Hernandez, and I think one other player. For their game against Lazio, and they benched them just because they had been losing. They hadn't started off in a good form. So as an example to the rest of the team, he benched their best players.
And Leao came on and scored the equalizer. So
yes, he did.
What did that prove?
I'm telling you.
You don't bench your best players when things are going rough. You play them. That's why they're 14. Get out of here. Anyways, a team that actually well run. You got Inter, Juve, and Napoli.
Inter. Now that's one team that that coach. I gotta give it to him. Like he whatever juice he has that team on there. They find ways to win games with Mkhitaryan and Çalhanoğlu in the midfield.
Exactly.
Make it make sense. That's their central midfielders. Mkhitaryan, who's like 32, and Çalhanoğlu, who's like 35. And then yes, Nicola Barella. We all know how world class he is, genius, all that. But look at who he's next to. That's their starting midfield, bro. And they win they win so many games every season. So many games. I mean, it's been like 3-4 seasons now. What do we expect from Inter? To be right there in the title race. Spearheading it even.
Yep. right up there at the top.
And Lautaro Martinez hasn't played this season yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Them and Juve. You know, I'll pledge to watch way more Serie A this season because
I already do. They're on BT Sport. Like it's actually pretty good because they schedule the Serie A games right after the Premier League matches. They're normally around like 2:45, and then like 5:30 games. Sometimes there's a 6 o'clock game on a rarity, but normally right after the Premier League games, it's on BT Sport, the football Serie A, Sky Sports football Serie A, BT Sport 1. Actually the same channels, the Super Sport that we just watched the Premier League games. The Italian League games are on right after.
Well, I would definitely be tuning into some more. Just trying to stay up and see all the games because Serie A looks like a very, very interesting league. And
it is very much
storylines. But there's another league and another signing that some people were worried about him.
Flickball.
Well, we'll get into flickball. But before
flickball,
Mbappe finally scored in La Liga. And they won. And all of a sudden, they are now 4 points behind Barcelona, who have a perfect start. Flick ball. Wait, do we really need to diagnose what went wrong with? Did anything go wrong with Mbappe, or did he just not score?
Oh, he just wasn't the keeper. He was shooting the ball on target, but the keeper was saving it. The last game, the keeper didn't save those 2 shots he had on target. That's what happened, people.
The 3-game hold drought is over. Everybody,
what do you expect? He was shooting the ball on target. It was getting saved. That game was not the case. That's what happened.
In way more surprising and shocking news, Hansi Flick and Barcelona are up top of the league.
I'm not surprised.
4-0, winning their last game by 7 goals.
Come on. I'm not surprised. I said this would work from the beginning. Didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I didn't say Hansi Flick would work out. I didn't say that was my favorite, one of my favorite managers.
You said he was good. You just didn't say he would be good at Barcelona.
Yes, I did. Because I said he was good. I think you need to go back and look at my takes on Hansi Flick. I said I love it because I know how much I like Hansi Flick. I've always had that stance on Hansi Flick. Of course I don't like Barcelona. Of course. That's not a mystery. But I've had the same stance on Hansi Flick from day one. I wanted him or the PSG guy at Chelsea. You know this. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. I mean, all right. I'll admit, I didn't see the 3 17-year-olds coming. But that's what he's doing it with. So it's Hansi Flick, though. So I'm not really surprised because I said he would be really good with Barcelona.
Definitely a huge upgrade on Xavi.
Oh, yeah. I said that, bro. Xavi's previous experience was Allah Akbar. Hansi Flick's previous experience is a treble. You can't even compare them. Assalamu alaikum to our Muslim brothers. But what I'm trying to say is, bro, you can't compare them. Of course, it's an upgrade. Like, holy, it's an upgrade. Like, what do you expect? He's a treble winning manager. Come on. Oh, it's an upgrade. Yeah, it's an upgrade. It's like going from a Chevy to a Porsche. Literally.
Can Barcelona actually win the La Liga this year.
Absolutely. Real Madrid is in trouble in those Clásicos. Dani Olmo, you saw how Dani Olmo's sauce just oozed all over. You think that 7-0 was just a coincidence? Who started and played in that game? Dani Olmo.
It always comes down to the El Clásicos, and if they cannot match them man for man, that's usually what decides where the titles go to.
But you know what I think is going to happen, those Clásicos. This is going to be happening. Yeah. Unfortunately, Barcelona. You're going to see a lot of this.
Oh, I know Mbappe is waiting for that Lamine Yamal match.
Oh, he is waiting for that. And they don't even play the same position, so he's not even worried about that. He's going to be busy getting the goals. Lamine Yamal got to focus on getting the ball to Lewandowski and Rafinha.
It's so funny. Like, these guys literally have to sacrifice their players to register other players. Like,
yeah.
And they still manage to be top of their league. It needs to be studied. Like,
17-year-old
went down injured.
Mm-hmm. And then one of their 17-year-olds went down injured, so they replaced him with another La Masia 17-year-old and 1-7-0.
It's like,
if you're definitely right. Something's going on there that needs to be studied. There needs to be like a case study.
And they went so hard for what's his name, Nico Williams. Who would they have to sacrifice to get Nico into the team?
They didn't want to leave because they spent 60 million on what's his name, Olmo.
So it's
could have easily added 5 million and spent that on Nico. Nico just didn't want to leave. Mm-hmm.
Well, another race. I'm not gonna commit to watching more La Liga. No, I'll be watching Barcelona and Atletico
the
highlights. Yeah. But maybe I'll tune in for Atletico again because I got a lot of.
Oh my God! And the Atletico mentioned. Did you see how they won? It was like it was 92nd minute, 93rd minute. Angel Correa, game-winning goal. Crazy. Sorloth, another assist. Fun fact, Sorloth, I think, is third behind Lewandowski and Erling Haaland, his countrymen, in goals and assists.
This is why I really like Atletico. They have Gallagher playing in an advanced, like, Christmas tree behind Alvarez. Like, of course, like, I'll tune in. I got to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see it.
But you may not. One caveat with Atletico is for 75 minutes, they may look like Everton. I'm so serious, bro. I'm not making this up. Bro, I'm not making this up.
Man.
But for those last 10 minutes, they all of a sudden they look like Bayern Munich. Yeah. They're one of the most unique teams to watch. I'm telling you, they're one of my favorite teams to watch. Bro, they could literally grind their way through a game and look trash, and then win in the last minute. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for us, there is a international break going on now. So
yes, there is.
For this next 2 weeks. We'll be forced to wait and see what happens next during the leagues. Got a couple Nations League, I think, World Cup qualifiers, or whatever they do during international break. And that also means that we will not be back until the real football is back. So come to the end of yet another episode. This time you will not see us again for a while, but we will be back. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all our platforms, share with your friends. And we will see you after the international.